Health officials are warning about measles and mumps this morning. The diseases once thought to be nearly wiped out in this country are making kids sick again. Since January, there have already been more than 100 confirmed cases of measles. In an average year, the number is usually about 60.
A mumps outbreak is also underway in places like California, Ohio, and New York. Jeffrey Kluger is the science editor at Time magazine. He wrote a scathing open letter to parents warning them of the dangers from not vaccinating their children. Jeffrey, good morning. Wow.
Good morning.
Tell us how you really feel. But I mean, it's interesting. You say parents who are not giving their vaccines are not only misinformed, they're spoiled.
Well, that's right. This whole generation of parents has grown up behind the protective berms built by vaccine developers like Jonas Salk. If you've never seen polio, if you've never seen whooping cough, you can afford to be glib about the dangers. One person I read quoted a doctor said, well, this is a very healthy community, so we don't really need to vaccinate here. Well, it's healthy because people have gotten vaccinated. It's like tearing down your levees because your community is dry. It's the levees that's keeping them dry.
But Jeffrey, you came out with guns blazing. For instance, the headline says, "Dear anti-vaxxers, you want pure nature? Okay, die young." And people looked at that and went, wow, why did you want to be so strong? Why do you feel so passionately about this?
Well, because the idea that vaccines are messing with nature misinterprets the entire point of medicine. Medicine is designed to mess with nature. Every disease that ever existed, every infection that tries to take over a body and kill it is nature and bacteria doing what they do. Medicine's sole job, its mission, has been to step in the path of bad nature and put good nature in its place, and that's what vaccines do.
For those people who speak out against vaccines, what's their motive? Why do they do it?
I think it's a question. I think it appeals to some of the darker conspiratorial provinces of our brain. It speaks to the part of us that doesn't want to feel like there are larger forces manipulating us, big pharma, big medicine. People often talk about a bought-off media supporting vaccines.
But in Jenny McCarthy's case was a child who had autism.
A child who, there's a lot of question as to whether that child had autism.
But she's been very outspoken and very convinced that this vaccine harmed her son.
But it's full cause and effect. Sunrise could have caused her son, could have harmed her son too, because that also happened in the day before he developed his autism symptoms. Autism rates are going up. There's no question about that. But those rates are going up because we're more alert to what the symptoms are, because we're broadening the category of what counts as an autism spectrum disorder, which is good. It gathers in a lot of kids who need help, but it ain't the vaccine.
So this is very fascinating. Now these measles and mumps outbreaks, you believe, are directly related to this. And the places that there are the outbreaks, what does that tell us?
Well, I think it tells us, again, it goes back to this idea of parents being spoiled.
And those places are New York?
New York and Columbus, Ohio, and both around higher education institutions. It began at Ohio.
Orange County, California.
And Orange County, California, right. And Ohio State University, a very educated community. In New York, the biggest outbreaks, the biggest danger is in New York City's 245 private schools, where they are below the 95% rate they need for herd immunity.
Is that why you use the phrase spoiled?
Spoiled because we are pampered and believe that vaccines are unnecessary because diseases and outbreaks and the specter of crippled children are a thing of the past.
Well, you didn't mince your words, Jeffrey Kluger. You're getting a lot of people talking, starting a conversation.
Thank you so much, Jeffrey. Good to see you.
Good to see you.